We're out here getting it done. It's a little windy, but we're gonna start sweating soon.
Sure are.
We'll be back in a little bit with 5 mental mindset tips for training. What is up? February 19th. We have ourselves a nice 25K trail run today. Again, training for that 50K, which is just 7 weeks away. We'll be out there doing it. Getting a little later start than usual today. It's about 11:30. We're usually early birds, but due to some family scheduling, we weren't able to get the big group running this morning. So we're gonna get it done today. We're gonna be out there, hitting it, getting some of the some aid stops in along the way, just practicing what we're gonna do on race day. Today we're gonna talk about mental mindset and endurance sports. 5 tips while you're out there, just to keep in mind, things to work on how you can push through adversity, talking about some positivity, some self-positive talk and thoughts. And hopefully you take something out of this. Hopefully you can work on something of your own. Get out there, get better, get that mentality. That a lot of this, the endurance sports, is half of it really is just like mental toughness, mental training, along with doing the actual training of getting the miles in. So hopefully you get something out of this. We'll be out there, I'll show you some views. We'll talk about a little bit of the training, and then we're gonna get into it. 5 tips on mental mindset and endurance sports. Put on the earmuffs because I'm cold.
The worst thing is having a gator and sunglasses.
Foggy.
Well, I am going to be bouncing off the wall shortly. Jet fuel, liquid IV.
Good morning, world.
Here we are. Good morning. It's afternoon now.
I know. If you didn't know, we are parents of different households with 2 young children who usually get out at the ass crack of dawn. And we slept, well, I don't want to say slept in, but 11:30 sounds great, doesn't it?
Sure does.
So, breaking away from the fams today and get 25K of training done. 15 miles if you need to do the math.
Yep.
But did you know what? 49 days?
What?
49 days away.
Oh God.
7 weeks. So Katie runs her first 50K in the trails.
Yes.
And hopefully my first 50K of not getting lost in the trails. So we're out here getting it done. It's a little windy, but we're gonna start sweating soon.
Sure are.
We'll be back in a little bit with 5 mental mindset tips for training. All right, Katie.
Okay.
Are you ready for tip number 1?
Sure.
All right. So 5 mental mindset tips. First one, before you can really do the rest, the other 4, would be to keep your mind and body healthy. Now that means body-wise, you do need to follow at least a somewhat decent diet to not stress your body into, I mean, right now, if I were to have been a little gluttonous yesterday with my eating, I would probably feel like a bag of shit right now. But knowing I had to do this today, although I'm not 100% good on diet all the time, I tried to be well yesterday. I don't know about yourself, but
Yes.
I know you're pretty good with that.
Sure am.
If you're fueling your body, which is what we need to complete what we're doing today, like crap, you're gonna have a crappy training day. And likewise for the mind, although very hard right now, you need to cleanse your mind of those things you can't control, stress. There's other types of stress that gets put on your body and mind other than training. Family, life, the world. You have to control those two things in order to really get to the next step for your mindset to get through your endurance training or just life in general. Fuel yourself, your body, and fuel your mind. And we'll go through how to do that in a little bit. Some of the other tips will help you on that. What'd you eat last night?
I had pasta, veggies, and that was it for dinner. I had a big lunch, a big smoothie, and I had a good breakfast. Oatmeal, fruit, you name it.
There you go. Just getting after it. No Oreos last night. That was a plus for me. So we'll see how we feel in a little bit. Number 2, stop judging yourself. You're gonna go through some ups and downs. You may get injured, you may have a baby, you may have all kinds of things that come up during your training, progress, goals, that maybe you have to, step back a little bit. Key is getting back out there, but once you get back out there, you can't judge yourself based on where you were. Now, that doesn't mean you can't push yourself safely, properly, but the only person you can really judge yourself against is what you did yesterday. Not last year, last decade, for those that have been doing this for a while. Now, I've been lucky to not have a big gap in training at all since I started. So I've been able to constantly try and improve a little bit at a time against myself. But if something were to happen and I had to take time off, I wouldn't expect myself to come back and compare myself to the numbers I stopped at. That doesn't mean you won't get back there. You just have to do it smart. Because the moment you start judging yourself and realize how off you are from your goals, you are just gonna get beat down mentally or train too hard and hurt yourself and forget about the enjoyment of the process you had the first time. Now I know Katie has a little experience with this recently.
Yes, sure do.
I believe little C is going to be a year old very shortly.
Next week.
There you go.
Yes.
Thankfully, she ran deep into her pregnancy and got back on as soon as possible.
Yes.
And I think the biggest thing we had to work on was realizing, work on yourself this week and compare yourself to where you're at right now, not where you left off last year.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
how's that going ever since?
Well, I stopped worrying about how fast I was before her, and I went from not being able to run a 5K with less than 11-minute pace to running a full marathon with a 9:23 pace. So, saying it's going pretty good. Keeping my base up, getting ready for my first ultra. So,
And where were you 12 months ago?
I was doing nothing, could hardly walk. I had been out of the game for about 6 weeks at that point, and I had 6 more to go before I could throw on another pair of running shoes. So I was starting from 0.
So again, not judging herself and holding herself against where she left off, because she was doing amazing and doing it smart. She is now past where she was when she stopped in a short period of time by being smart. So tip 2, don't judge yourself. Worry about where you're at right now and how to get better going forward. Back for tip 3 in people's backyards. A little bit of the trail that's going to run between some some backyards here. All right, I'm hoping you have some insight on this one. Number 3. Oh shit, first of all, hold on. How'd that happen? I wasn't here last week. I don't remember that. Oh, maybe that wind we had. Woo! That's part of one of the other tips, but we'll get to that later. All right, number 3. Those early morning easy runs that we do during the week that you usually feel like a dumpster fire for. Yeah. Because of lack of sleep and all this other stuff. Practice positive self-talk. So, even though you may feel like poop, you may not have had a good night's sleep, you think your training is going to be terrible for the day, you're out there, you don't want to do it, you think you're running slow, what shouldn't we do?
Talk about how shitty we feel and how we don't want to do it.
And how slow we're running. And I'm so sorry for running so slow. You say, I'm just thankful to be out here, that I was able to get up, get it done.
Yes.
Because even if you did run a little slower than you were supposed to run, I would say that your little bit of a slower run is a lot better than no run at all.
Correct. That's correct.
And then when that run's done, even if you're feeling like crap, you usually feel 10 times better afterwards.
Yep.
So, and proof in the pudding there is the other morning we ran 6 miles, which wound up being like a 10K basically, and just wanted to start adding some speed work. So we did about 6 quick fartlek stirring, you know, quick little sprints, tree to tree, here to here, 1 every mile basically.
Right.
Katie felt like shit.
Sure did.
And wound up running her second best 5K apparently, according to Training Peaks.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you feel like crap, you just talk yourself up, like we were during that run.
Yes.
Next thing you know, you got yourself a great training session. So be nice to yourself. Don't talk yourself down, even if you're feeling like crap. All right, we got a little detour before we get back on the trail. We'll catch you for 4 and 5 in a little bit. All right, tip number 4. And actually, I guess this kind of works out. We're in a newer trail that we haven't run. We're going a little deeper past the turnaround that we usually go to. Tip 4, the mental toughness for endurance training would be train with adversity. What that means is, it's probably what, 30, right around freezing, right? 35-ish right now?
Yes.
Not bad, considering. The wind has really died down in here. But if you've seen in some of the past videos, if it was 20 degrees, would we be running?
Yes.
If it was snowing, would we be running?
Yes.
If it was raining, would we be running?
Sure would.
So that's what we mean by training with adversity, is you have to train the way, well, if you plan on showing up on race day regardless, or whatever you have signed up for, no ifs, ands, or buts, you better get out there, obviously if it's safe. I would never tell anybody to go out there if it wasn't safe.
Right.
But you got to get your training in through all the conditions. We ran a 10-mile run, local run back in the beginning of January. I shit you not, that was the coldest day I've ever run. It was like, I think the wind chill was like -10.
Yeah.
And real feel was like 4, or the real temperature I should say Was it cold? Hells yeah. Was I happy? Not really. But all those days you trained through crap conditions, or the races you did in crap conditions, it is what it is. Put something on the calendar. You know you got to do it. As long as you can safely get out there, you can get it done. So try not to miss your... Is it easy to just run inside for the day? Absolutely. Jump on the treadmill, but when you can, get out here.
Yeah.
How could you not want to be out here running with this? Look at this. I don't even know where the hell we are. But we're up here. It's a lot better view than on a treadmill in a garage somewhere.
Right.
So, and you'll feel that much more accomplished when you get home from your run. I had this past year, thankfully, just about, well, 2021, all good weather for all my races. But if you've known me for a little while, you know that was not the case before that. I had multiple half iron races in the pouring rain, half marathons in the rain. You've done your half marathon in the rain.
Yes.
Disgusting. But it is what it is. We had days in training that were worse. So I'm thankful for days like this, because this is for the time of year and what we've been going through. I'll take this.
Yep.
This is a home run. Get a little familiar with being comfortable while you're uncomfortable. Tip number 5. Just live in a house like that and you don't have to worry about mental toughness. It'll solve all your problems. Not really, I actually like great more.
Now it's time to figure out, is this
All right.
a llama for a resident?
Yeah, in the comments, is that a llama? It's awfully colorful. All right, we're gonna wait to do number 5 till we get in the trail. It's just a little loud out here. Tip 5. Just kidding, we'll get to 5 in a little bit, I promise. I promise, it's an important one too. Very important one, number 5. Finally, number 5. We're there. I think it's important to know your why. Why you're doing this. Why you're out here and not home with your family, all warm, doing family stuff. Now, you don't have to tell people your why, but you should know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, you should probably sit down and maybe figure out why, because I think that will significantly help you get through the other steps we just went through. It's important to just have a reason to be out here. Even if it's simply that you love fresh air and it makes you happy. Whatever it is, just remind yourself that from time to time. Especially when you look at the upcoming weeks. This lady behind me is going to be running a decent amount of miles in the next 6 weeks. Having an understanding on why you're doing this, what you're trying to prove, whether it's to yourself or for your kids when they get older. Oh crap. Why are you climbing through trees that are blown down? Yeah. Whoops. So figure it out. And just remember that. Surround yourself with it. Whew. All right, aid stop at mile 10 is done for the run. Running out and back for the last 5 on a different part of the trail. Then we can call today a wrap. Some snow flurries coming.
Yeah.
Just out here getting it done. Any last minute tips back there?
Just keep going.
There you go, even when you don't feel like it. Just get it done, check the box. You'll thank yourself later. So we're gonna finish up. Hope you got out there and got it done. Stay safe, stay healthy. Just balance that life 1 mile at a time. We'll see you next time.